Well, the Labour leadership this afternoon announced that it would no longer take donations of clothes, and in the Prime Minister's case, glasses. He and his Chancellor and the Deputy Leader have been criticised for that this week. And as you say, Nigel Farage, Britain's richest MP, because of his work at GB News, was quick to capitalise. Before he spoke in his speech, he put on a pair of glasses and everyone started shouting and laughing, saying who paid for those. Now, there are a lot of speeches today, people attacking other parties on immigration, on policing, on net zero. Rupert Lowe, one of the so-called famous 5 MPs, spoke about what he called the experimental COVID vaccine. He said that the Equalities Act had allowed minorities to impose their will. We then had Lee Anderson, who said that he wanted his country back, to roars again from the crowd. But everyone was really here to see the main event, which was Nigel Farage. His speech, the reception to his speech, had an almost messianic quality. There were flares, there were streamers, there was really loud music as he walked onto the stage. Here's a look at what happened today. This Birmingham Conference Centre is today's shop window for a self-proclaimed start-up that says it's now a professional political outfit. Reform UK spared nothing on its production value, American in style, insurgent in substance, with a new, and it says, democratised constitution to boot.
The time has come. The infant that Reform UK has been growing up. We had the teenage tantrums, which were those that caused us harm in the general election. But we're now at a different point. The party is an adult. And this weekend is when Reform UK comes of age.
Today, the party faithful attacked Labour on immigration, on the scrapping of the winter fuel allowance, on the early release of prisoners. In their speeches, a flavour of familiar talking points.
And we will turn the boats round and send them back.
British culture needs to be at the forefront of everything.
But its key announcement, Nigel Farage TM no longer. Its leader announcing he'll give up having a majority share in what is still a limited company, giving members the option to oust him. Something some of the party faithful queuing outside had hoped for.
I admire Nigel Farage enormously, but I think he's got to translate himself from being a one-man disturber into the leader of a broad party.
Do you think that the members will ever want to get rid of Nigel Farage? I mean,
I don't think so.
Why would we want to get rid of Nigel Farage? He's wonderful.
one person conspicuously absent from this conference, Reform UK's former deputy leader Ben Habib, who was demoted in July and has since said he's got concerns about party democracy.
The bar over which it would need to go to remove the leader, whether it's Nigel Farage or someone else, is so high that it would be unattainable, particularly given that even once members decide they want a motion of no confidence in a leader, it then goes to a board of directors, most of whom would have been appointed by the leader.
The party leadership say that you're sour grapes, and a lot of the people that we've spoken to here today actually like Nigel Farage so much they don't seem to mind.
This is not sour grapes. Reform UK has an obligation to the millions of people it's galvanised.
Reform UK is already giving marching orders to campaigners ahead of the local elections next year, focusing its firepower in councils with voters in the 98 constituencies where it came second, 89 of them held by Labour.
We will be vetting candidates rigorously at all levels. I promise you that. We haven't got room for a few extremists to wreck the work.
Reform UK was forced to remove more than 100 general election candidates, more than a dozen of them after offensive and racist comments were revealed, including by this programme. Also during the election campaign, a key volunteer, seen here on the right, was filmed by Channel 4 News calling the pride flag degenerate and comparing LGBT people to paedophiles. He was suspended at the time.
But they'll deny it in Westminster until the cows come home. We're living in a state with two-tier policing.
Nigel Farage himself got in hot water for tweeting this following the Southport stabbings.
Was this guy being monitored? by the security services. Some reports say he was, others less sure. I just wonder whether the truth is being withheld from us.
Later admitting this.
There were stories online from some very prominent folks with big followings, Andrew Tate, etc.
We caught up with Farage as he arrived. Well, Ben Habib says you're all but impossible to get rid of.
He's not even a member.
We asked him if he regretted his comments about Andrew Tate, the misogynist influencer charged with sex trafficking.
I didn't repeat any rumours from him.
Okay.
I asked for the truth, as did, and you might have forgotten this, as did the terrorism czar, as did Lord Carlisle. They said government must level with the people.
To stop rumours like the one that you spreading, some might say.
I left it for 48 hours before I commented, and I could see what was happening. There was lunacy happening online. And if we'd been told the truth, those riots would have been a fraction of the size.
Do you regret that tweet?
No.
You don't regret it? Tonight, Nigel Farage said his party was in the process of setting up 266 constituency offices, saying Britain was broken, that only Reform UK could fix it.